So, customer appreciation then? Should we call this customer appreciation? The customers that we appreciate?
Uh, it's more about like
Because there are.
It's
There,
more about
there
like the things that
are.
are like kind of keeping us like in the industry and like that being part of it.
I mean, that is a huge part about it. It is
big.
about me being back there and cooking a meal and somebody loves it and just makes my night, you know?
Oh,
If I made their nights, then I know that I'm good. Because
yeah.
I was talking to somebody the other day about this, you know? Like, we don't get paid enough for anything else
No,
other than just that
no.
little bit of satisfaction of making something perfect or making something so good that somebody was like, man, that was really delicious. Thank you so much for it. And you're like, this is why I do this right there. That just like fills
Yeah.
my soul with joy. I mean, yeah, as a chef, that's what I look for. That's it. Just a compliment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
I'm
even
not
really.
like fishing for compliments every single time. I'm not saying that either, but it's just the recognition of it, I guess. Just that little bit of you.
Recognize it.
Yeah.
The way you said it was just like you got the right word for once, but it was just the way you said it. Maybe like just laugh.
Oh, yeah?
the,
Why?
the recognition.
I broke it up into all of its syllables.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I
Very
I
elegant.
sounded it out in my head like
It
my
was very
teachers taught me.
elegant. Like,
Yeah. My
I'm
teachers taught
so
me that
glad you
shit.
cook better than you speak.
I know, right?
We were at the bar last night after close, and one of our regulars was there. And he made what he said the best part about bars is there's no HR department.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if it's the best part, but it's a damn good reason.
Yeah.
Not having to deal with all that internal. Now, I mean, usually
you
like the
get it.
manager acts as HR, but there's no HR department.
Yeah.
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 No, like you still get in trouble if you touch the wrong person.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't
Yeah.
touch
That's no
people.
good.
Yeah.
Don't touch people.
They
But
got-
if you
they got
say like
laws.
if you say the wrong pronoun or something, you're not going to get reported to HR and have a whole meeting and evaluation about you have
Yeah.
to go take this course because you didn't use the thing.
Yeah. I would love to see the course. You know what? I'm going to start courses at the bars. I'm going to start doing courses. And it's just going to be like, please sit down. Tell me what you said. Not funny enough. You got to try harder. Okay? If you're going to insult somebody, put some heart behind it. Okay?
Some heart. Some heart.
It's like if you're gonna insult somebody, at least like practice it out or listen to a Kill Tony episode,
Kill Tony.
Yeah.
right? That should be pretty fucking funny. That Kill Tony, he's good, bro. He's good with the insults.
God, it's so irritating. Like I feel like I'm much quicker on my feet when I'm at the bar. When I'm in that environment, I feel like I'm much,
Yeah.
like it's
Huh.
witty. It flows.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah,
Then again, everything's a lot more funny when you're got like 8 of you and you're all kind of drunk sitting at the bar after hours. Like it's just funnier.
No.
true.
And
I mean,
everybody's
I
also
agree.
loose. Everybody's just, you're naturally like loose there. You're not trying to go for anything like that. There's
Yeah.
nothing crazy going. No, I don't know. Actually, no, we had a dumpster fire last night.
We had a
actually.
dumpster What?
There was an actual dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Like, the metaphor for my life became real.
Okay.
The dumpster was literally on fire.
Okay. Please elaborate or explain how.
We don't know
did-
how.
Okay, we don't know how.
We were
So-
all sitting outside, and all of a
knows?
sudden, it was just like we see people running past us with like fucking fire extinguishers. Then we look to the left, and like there's just flames coming up out of the dumpster, and it's like, oh, dumpster's on fire. We have a dumpster fire.
We have a dumpster fire. That's a great segue. Hey everyone, welcome to Eating While Standing.
And just be like, hey, everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's all good.
We are
Yes.
the dumpster fire that brings excitement to your life.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
lots of excitement.
And we deal with literal dumpster fires, and that's what is exciting in our lives.
Yeah,
That was
I
great.
have. I think
And
I've experienced at
Of the
least
many
4 or
people that
5.
were at the bar when that happened last night, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Had a good
You know
time.
who you are. I don't know who you are, but they know who you are.
Yeah, Sean. Well,
Yeah. I haven't met you guys yet, but we could be friends. You don't know.
stay-at-home dads surprisingly just don't have a whole lot of free time.
No.
No.
Or social life.
Yeah. Hanging out with a
Okay.
4-year-old all the time.
I've had my social life. I have
That's-
plenty retired on my social life. I've done very well in my 20s and 30s about my social life.
You can go into dad bod
I can-
happy.
Very, very much. Very much.
Well, good. I'm so glad.
Thank you.
Well, now that
It
you're
was a
out of
long
the
journey.
You look
industry,
so
technically.
enthusiastic.
What?
Oh God, I'm so glad for you.
I'm so sorry that I yawned. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
hell?
not feeling the greatest today. I think I'm coming down with a cold or something. So sorry, everybody, if I'm not as all wee. But yeah, I'm just congested.
Yeah.
And just a little bit
All
Yeah,
right.
under the weather.
I'm gonna have to edit out like so many. Don't stop that. Gotta place markers.
Wow.
Put a marker right there. That bit right there. And that bit right there.
I'm so sorry. At least I came in today.
Right?
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's nice when people come into work
Oh, it is. It's very nice.
instead of not doing that.
Yep. Oh God, but I got a question then. Since okay, so pretty much what we're talking about right now is why we're still in the industry, why we still do what we do,
Yes.
Yeah.
why where'd the love come from, and why is it gone?
Yeah. Aside from the whole money thing, which especially front of house, it's hard to leave when you get money every single night. Usually you don't get benefits, but I mean,
That's fair.
our jobs have helped me and my wife get our condo. So, I mean, yeah, aside from all that,
Yeah.
which is a given, you'll say in any job, no matter how much you hate it, if it's paying your bills
Yeah, for most part.
and the friction of like moving away.
Yeah.
You know, we've been doing this long enough. If we try and go off and do something else, there's that build up period. You know, you're not going to be making the same amount of money in the beginning, depending on what you're doing. So
Course.
it's like, man, should I go do that or should I stay here and just
Yeah. I could never
Keep
imagine
duking it out.
myself even doing anything else. I
That's-
never could. Never, ever even imagined it. I've thought about it, but then when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm not that guy. Could I go get an office job? Absolutely. I could probably get an office job, learn some computer work, some typing skills, something
Yeah.
like that. Or learn another trade, plumbing, electrician, things like that. But again, I'm like, that's not really me. It's not who I am. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't fit me. Like, I know where my passion is, and it started at an early age. It really did. I remember being in like 7th grade, and we all had to write this paper about how to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, how to make Play-Doh or how to do the Humpty dance. You know, like people that
How to do
literally-
the Humpty
yeah,
dance?
Yeah,
Do the
yeah. I mean,
Humpty Hump.
it was 1993, 92, and the Humpty Dance just came out. So there was people that would come in and they wrote their paper, you know what I'm saying? They had to write like an English paper. And again, it's 7th grade, so it wasn't very long, like one sheet of paper about how to do the Humpty Dance. And then they had to get up in front of the classroom and then perform these. You know what I did mine on? How to cook a proper steak.
There you
Wait,
go.
what grade was
Literally
this?
7th grade, bro. That's not a lie. I swear to God, I know. I brought in a hot plate and I had a couple steaks that, you know, saying that I had bought or my mom had bought, actually, you know. I brought a couple steaks in. I seasoned them with just salt and pepper, pan seared them, finished them with a little butter. I didn't have time back then, just butter. I wasn't that educated back then. If I would have been like real fancy, I could have threw some thyme and stuff in there and some garlic, but no. I just did salt, pepper, salt,
damn.
pepper, and a little butter. Then I pulled them out and I cut a little slice, and everybody got to come up and got one bite of steak and whatnot. And it was my demonstration on how to cook a proper steak.
Wow.
So that's where my love of it comes from. And then I got a job when I was 14, you know, washing dishes. And then I looked up to the chefs that were, I was like, I want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? I want to be those guys. Like, to me, they were the superstars. They were the, you know what I'm saying, like the movie actors or like your role models almost. Not very good role models, but they had drugs and alcohol problem, but they were my role models, you know? Like, that's who the fuck I looked up to. And
7th grade.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
most kids not doing anything.
Yeah.
Which for a 7th grader in a classroom, bringing in a hot plate and
yeah.
Oh yeah. That's good.
seasoning and doing your whole
The 90s
yeah.
was like a Wild West, man.
It was a different time.
Yeah, you
boys and
couldn't bring a
girls.
hot plate into a classroom.
No, I
now,
don't think
'cause
I don't
So-
think so.
I don't think so.
You'd
Unless
have
you
to
were,
use the science room's Bunsen burner.
you'd probably have to go
and-
to home ec class or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do they,
And I don't
do
think-
they still do home ec? Is
Yeah,
that a
of
thing?
course. When my daughter was in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, she took home ec. And then every semester, I would go in and do the day of the chef and a life, or day of a,
What?
Day in a
Day
chef
of-
of the life.
yeah, that too.
Yeah, bro.
Day,
Okay.
a day of a, what the, how do you say that?
A day in the life of a chef.
That's it.
Okay.
You got it. That's it. He's going to write the book. I'm just going to be the
A
star
chef
of
in the
it.
day of a life.
Yes.
That's what I was doing in
And-
7th grade. I was writing a lot.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. So.
Oh no, I disturbed my teachers. They didn't like what I was writing. I started in elementary school. That
Oh,
was-
wow.
You learn to
I
keep
was-
thoughts to yourself.
Yeah. I was a very dark child, even though I was like always like, oh, I'm so giddy, yeah.
In the
But then I'm writing stories about
darkness.
explosions and body parts flying all over the place and all this kind
Oh,
of stuff.
man. You know what? I am
Uh,
gonna put this, mark.
If I ever go
Oh, God, he
missing,
can't
it was
turn it off.
Zach. Zach is going to be the first suspect in your guys'
Yeah,
list.
look at that. And that came from one of the regulars.
Yes,
At our
Oh,
bar.
Nice.
they did.
Shout out to the regular at the bar.
Shout out to the regulars
Yes.
all around the world.
Yes, we do
People
love
drinking
you.
and me.
Guests and cooks love regulars. I know
Yeah.
I've loved my regulars over the years, and I've had them.
It helps you keep going. Like
It really
seeing
does.
people that you know,
Yeah.
and you build a relationship with.
Yes. I had regulars
Absolutely.
when I worked in Beverly Hills that every time they were in, like, eventually they had the menu so many times, like they would just, as soon as they showed up, they would tell the server, hey, go get Chef Jean Paul and bring him out to the table. And I'd go out there and I would just talk to him. And they'd be like, what you got in the back? What can you make us? And then eventually we got to talking more and more. I started ordering special things for them, you know what I'm saying? They would tell me what they like. So I'm like, okay, when are you going to come back next? You know, I'm like, oh, we'll probably be back. Well, if you make a reservation, make sure you tell the hostess, and the hostess will come tell me, and then I'll make sure that I order this product for you, and I'll make it just for you. Bro, they love that about it, though.
Mhm.
And we will do things like that, but you got to build that relationship
Yeah.
with
you gotta
your
put that work
chefs,
in.
with your cooks, with your bartenders, and things like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are the people that we love, though. We love those regulars, those people that appreciate what we're doing for them.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's not even entirely like, because it is a very thankless job in a lot of ways.
It is.
Like when I first got into it, like I just kind of fell into it.
Okay.
So I never really thought of it as like, I wasn't like you where I was like, I looked up to the chef and I was like, I'm gonna be that guy.
Okay.
It was just kind of like a job for me for the longest time until I just started realizing I was like, when I'm in a kitchen, it's like the only place I've ever actually felt comfortable.
Huh.
Like any other job, I've always been just kind of like this, just near, just like I'm just gonna go hide in the back, and I don't know what to do here. I'm just scared of everyone. But in the kitchen, it's just kind of like I'm like, everybody cool, everybody cool. I'll kind of feel everybody out, and then all right, cool. Now I want to make as many jokes as possible. We're all just gonna get along. We're gonna like laugh. I don't care. You see me angry? You see me angry, but then we're just gonna be friends afterwards.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
It was the only place that made me feel like safe.
We'll bring it up in a few
All right.
years. Remember that time you were really mad?
Yeah, exactly. That's usually
we
how
hold
it-
that one around for a little bit. Curtis, this gin drink is delicious, by the way.
Thank you.
Drinking on the job.
A delicious conniption, the butterfly pea flower gin.
Yeah.
Changes color with citrus. It's cool.
It
So I think
is.
one
Cool
of
to
my
make drinks.
favorite parts after like actually getting comfortable and getting into the career, and the thing that like I started looking forward to, it wasn't like people coming in and giving admiration and giving the appreciation. It was kind of like just standing back, kind of like peeking out the door or over the window and watching people eat.
Ah, okay.
Like I
okay.
loved the reactions.
Ah.
I love it
The
whenever like
candid
I'm,
reactions.
yeah,
Candid
like
camera.
like whenever I would be like behind like an open like over like maybe where we were.
Yeah.
I'd be cooking
yeah.
steaks or something like that. I
Yeah.
would turn around. I would just like look at a
Uh-huh.
table and I'm like waiting for
Uh-huh.
them to take a bite. And the moment they eat that bite, and like
Uh-huh.
if I get a smile, people start talking about the food. That's what gets me going. That's
Yeah.
what gets me.
You can
off.
see the husband be like, oh, sharing it to his wife or
Yeah.
the wife, you know what I'm saying? Like when you see that interaction happening, when they like take a bite and they're like, oh, you got to try this. And
Yeah.
it feeds his
Mhm.
wife or the partner, or even like your friends. I've seen like friends being like, bro, like this shit's fire. You got to try this.
Exactly. that, and like, and then also just like giving, like making experiences for people. Like, when I was working at another place, I again, it was a bit of an open cake. It wasn't like entirely open, but like the garde manger where like I was working that day, it has this giant window, so I could see out into the dining area. I saw a table and they'd been sitting there and they'd already finished their food like a while ago, and I could tell that the date was going really well. So I just discreetly sent a dessert over and let them just like have like have a cake.
Nice.
So I,
Respect.
like on the house, didn't charge them or
Yeah.
anything like that. I was just like, hey, look, I got an extra piece right here. Just like send this out
Nice.
to this couple, just to give them that experience of like they're having a good time.
Yeah.
They're already engaging all this kind of stuff, and then just to add on top of that and to make it even better and
That's
create that
dope.
experience.
That's dope.
That was that. Like those are the moments that really like kept me going in the industry. Like
Yeah.
whenever I feel like I'm losing that fire, like that's what would reignite me.
Without recognition. Like you didn't send them
I
out.
didn't do it. I
Be like,
didn't
hey,
say
let them know that I'm sending this out to them.
Nah.
no. It
And
was
all
just
that.
like on the
Okay.
house. Like, it's like nobody is, this isn't from anybody. It's just like, I don't care if they know I cooked it. I want to know that they are experiencing it that way.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
You get a little bit of that with
Yes.
bar. I mean, if you make if you make a cocktail really well, and you know, someone's like, "Oh, this is really good." You know, I
Mhm.
order these all the time in other places, but I quit doing that. I quit ordering them because I didn't like them. But I took it a chance here, and you make margaritas really well, or whatever it is. Yeah,
He does make a good margarita.
yeah.
I had those last week.
All right, check that one.
Damn it.
We checked that one.
It's just gonna have to get turning off my mic. It's just, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I think the bar, you're like so like up in front of everybody, but like you get the most customer interaction there is.
Yeah.
Um, well, at least where we were, like that kind of stuff, like servers, like bartenders, anybody FOH, really.
Yeah.
So, did you ever like enjoy serving people, or is it just strictly always just kind of like been, I want money, I want money. Oh no.
I mean, if people are, um, there's not really any like particular special thing anyone can do. They just have to be a good guest,
Yeah.
you know, to enjoy. I mean, you enjoy the ones that make your life easier
Okay.
more than the person that's constantly like the little things. If someone, when they order something, they're like, "Hey, I want these 3 sauces with that as well." Like, "Cool, no problem." And that makes my life easier instead of being, you know, dropping the food off and like, "Hey, can I get a side
It's
of
all
ranch?"
good.
And coming
Yeah.
back, and someone else is like, "Can I get a side of barbecue?" Running back, "Oh, can we also get honey mustard?" And it's like, "Fuck you. What the fuck? How have I come back to you 3 times and you have not thought this out?"
Yeah, you still don't know what you want.
Like, what the fuck, man? Like, have you never been to a restaurant before? And that just all of it, yeah, that just ruins it. Just
Yeah.
ruins it. No, you're just at least for me, I'm in front of people all the time, and so there's not really any special moments.
Really? Okay.
Not really. I mean, I guess that's not quite true. It's
Like,
hard to
anything
like.
you ever done like for somebody like that's like to make it like it's special for them? Like give them that like the same thing, like the thing I did with the cake. Like, did you ever do anything like that?
Um,
Birthday shots, celebration shots.
Shots. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's like that stuff.
Yeah, because we were at a bar not too long ago, and the bartender gave me and my wife, was saying on like we were having like a date night or an anniversary night or something like that, and the
Mm.
bartender was like, "I bought those 2 drinks for you," and I was like, "Wow, thank you so much. Wow, that was very, very nice of you." Like wow.
yeah. I mean, I've done that before,
Okay.
and I've gotten great reactions, but it's not the
Yes.
same. It's not the
Mhm.
same as food.
Yeah.
Food elicits a more raw, visceral reaction.
See,
Alcohol's
I
alcohol,
know,
and alcohol comes and goes so easily.
yeah,
Plus,
but
the more alcohol that someone imbibes, the less tolerant I am of them.
Mm.
I
I love how
as
you
a
said
guest, it's one
imbibe.
thing, but as a sober bartender, it's like I hate being around drunk people. Hate it. They're just
Huh.
because the majority of them are just like they have no wherewithal. And so
Wherewithal
I
what?
guess to be fair, it's not everyone.
Wherewithal?
There's plenty of like wherewithal. Like your state of mind, you're not aware of how you're acting.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you just start
constantly then, sober and
yeah.
drunk.
But
What
it's
do you
so
mean?
up in the air that
So I was
like,
not. That is not one of my abilities.
yeah, it muddies the water
Yeah.
so hard because you can have one person have a great interaction, have a bad interaction later, and then you're gonna cycle this through tens of thousands of people over your career.
Yeah.
And at some point, it's like I can't afford to enjoy these moments because it leaves me emotionally vulnerable,
Yeah.
and I got to stay on the level in case I got to deal with some asshole and
Or a dumpster fire.
or a dumpster
Or
fire.
dumpster fires.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do enjoy it. I
Yeah.
do enjoy those special moments, making someone like a birthday shot or
Yeah.
but
Anniversary shots, bachelor parties,
yeah,
bachelorettes, you know what I'm saying? Like any kind of celebration, because that's what drinking
Yeah.
should all be about is at the bar celebrating.
should be celebrating,
Especially like
enjoying
yeah,
yourself.
like if and especially when the regulars come in or something like that. If you like those regulars we have, they don't really do this a whole lot. But I've experienced it a lot where it's like if you get that kind of rapport usually, and everybody's like chummy with each other.
Hmm.
And when you ask questions like, "Hey, you got any like cool shots you can show me or anything like that?" Like they usually you can kind of do that once like you've gotten that regular status. And you've proven it's like I'm not going to be difficult. Like I'm not forcing you to do this. I'm just asking, hey man, like I'm just curious.
Hmm.
I'm asking you a question. You got any cool shots? Like what do you know?
Yeah.
It is. I
See,
mean,
like,
fun shots are fun to do, and when someone
Yeah.
gives you the freedom to like make something up that may or may not be good,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna try and make it good. But yeah, just like play around,
Hmm.
see what you
Yeah.
make.
And usually they got a regular probably is just going to be chill about it.
Hmm.
Like that's why they're a regular. They're just fucking around just like you are.
I'm pretty sure that's how all the drinks have been created.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't
that.
get it as much where we work now, but I enjoy in the past I've really enjoyed there's a special occasion, uh learning about that, telling the cook in the back, and then
Oh
like,
yeah, I love those.
what do you want to put out? Cool, I'm gonna make you have a chocolate cake? Cool, I'm gonna make a German chocolate cake shop, but I'm gonna add some lemon to it and have like a citrusy chaser they can use with the rich chocolate.
Mm.
So like I feel like I want us to both go forward, but like just doing it just alcohol doesn't feel like it has the same effect. Like food means more
Yeah,
in
but
my head.
when you pair it like that though, like all of a sudden the alcohol becomes part of the food.
Yes.
And then it becomes just as important to
true.
the whole
Now it's an experience.
Yes. Agree.
Yeah.
Agree with that. It's a whole experience.
Mhm. And just maybe I've been in pubs and bars too long. You know,
Yeah.
Those are the best places. Those are America's,
And I
like,
think
they are, but the experiences are not the same
yeah, I
as
know.
an established hot fine dining, sit down.
I guess I look at it
kinda
differently.
restaurant.
I look at it like a bar is like Cheers, like this is where everybody knows your name. We're there to hang out. Like I'm here with my friends.
well, I think
I'm
that's
just, we're just friends.
No,
That's
no.
the interesting part.
customer is there to hang out. The bartender
Yeah.
is not.
No.
Of course not. Of course
We are here to deal with
not.
more shit than people in fine
Well-
dining ever deal with.
The-
Yeah.
You may be dealing with assholes.
but
I might get hit. You
yeah,
might.
yeah,
Fine
yeah.
dining has security.
Yeah.
Now we have
right.
security now, but I've been hit a few times at where we work now.
Wow. What?
Yeah, I mean over 5 years, and it's just someone
Yeah,
either being drunk or
what?
whatever it is. But like,
Like they take a swing at you or like throw something? Or what do you mean by hit? Or like smacked?
I think maybe twice someone actually tried to hit me deliberately, and the other one times it was just
You had
in
to,
like
like,
a
dodge
tussle, and
that
you're like,
shit?
guys, stop it, break it up, and it just
He was
kind of
like,
happens.
Oh,
yeah.
But even in those situations,
See, this is why it makes me a
Going to
bad
help a
bartender
regular.
because I would be like cheering that shit on. I'd be instigating that shit. He said something about your mama, bro. Don't let him talk to you like that, dog. Fuck him up. Like I'm a bad bartender. I would be a terrible
you'd be the one who
bartender.
you'd be like throwing beer bottles
Yeah,
at him. Like,
right.
hey, use this.
Here, make this. I would. I'm like, fuck this motherfucker up, dog. Let's see. Come on, boys. Let's settle this shit like fucking men.
I think that is something though, because like with with bars and pubs, the experiences don't really come from the bartenders or even the cooks. Really, I mean, like because we're not
it's
making
each other.
Yeah, it's the customers are giving each other those experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're here to facilitate
Yeah.
that environment. But a pub isn't
kind of.
special if it's just you alone at the bar with the bartender. Like
Yeah.
you want to be able to come in, like people will come in, look around. If no one's there, they might just leave. So it's like that
Oh.
cascade effect. One regular comes in, and then another one comes behind them. They're like, "Oh yeah, what's up?" And then they hang out, and another one comes in. They're like, "Oh shit, yeah, you guys are here." And all of a sudden, the place fills up.
Yeah.
It's like, cool, everyone that we want to see and talk to is here. And then it's that force that keeps you from leaving. You might go to close out, someone comes in,
Like,
Isn't
oh,
that
that's
now
kind
I
a
of
friend, and
can't.
you're like, nah, I
life,
gotta get one
though?
more round, and then you're here till 2 a.m.
Isn't that kind of how life goes? I mean, that's life. That's an
Yeah.
everyday journey. Whether no matter what you do, it's like, oh, da da da, I'm here, I'm doing this, and then you guys come together. It gets a little out of control. I mean, to the nights I'll never remember, but the friends I'll never forget.
Mm, I like that.
I'll give it to this place. I stay more after work here than I ever have anywhere else. Every other job I've
Ah,
had for service, my shift's over, I'm going home. No, I'm not hanging out with any of you. I mean, we might go to like Mazzy's across the street after work. We did that occasionally, but my default usually was like, cool, peace, I'm out, bye.
Yeah.
I'm not hanging out. I'm doing my side work. I'm getting my check out. I'm going home. I
wow.
do not want to hang out with y'all. Y'all
I'm
kind of
trying to
suck.
think of any restaurants I've ever.
And I
Nah,
mean my coworkers, not the customers.
yeah, don't think I've ever really worked at restaurants like that. And if I did, it was a very short period of time to where I didn't really get to know them anyways. But any restaurant I've been there for a year or more,
Yeah.
like by then we were like best friends and we were hanging out and
I
Yeah.
guess that might be why. Because then Andretti's, I was there for like 6 years, but the turnover was so high.
yeah,
Can't really get to know anybody.
Maybe one or two people was there the entire time I was there.
yeah.
But other than that, you were hiring like these 18-year-olds
Oh yeah, they're not
to do
cool.
like serving and
Yeah.
whatnot. You're like, I'm not hanging out with you.
No, I'm not hanging out with you. You're not
And then I
cool.
see them going to Mazzy's, and I'm like, nope, I'm not a part of that.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah,
not sitting in
right?
that bar when I know there's underage people in there. I'm not dealing with it.
Why not though? They're the ones gonna get in trouble, not you, right?
I don't
wanna be
like
near
being
it.
around underage anybody.
Yeah.
Around alcohol. I mean, some of them can handle it,
Huh.
but it's too
If
I
it's
guess
if it
I
okay,
have more of a European view on this subject, so go ahead.
I think in like a private setting, like if it's like kids are at home or something like that, nobody's trying to get like, we're gonna get shitty. Oh my god!
yeah, like I get it.
It's like,
I did it.
and you're with your parents, all this kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is different. If you're out on a vacation, if you're doing like all that kind of stuff, you're at a cabin, you're at anything like that.
Mm.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like judgy.
No.
But if you're gonna go to a bar and you're trying to like walk in with a fake ID,
I'm not.
you're trying to do that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm not
I
down
don't
with
want to
that.
fuck with that.
Okay,
No.
I'm not down with that either.
I'm not down with that. But
But I've
I'm
been to
like,
house
nah.
parties, but no, I'm not going to a bar.
Yeah, no.
No, because I'd also don't want to. Because I've had to be the bartender in the past where there's like 4 coworkers that come in. I find out one is underage, so I have to look at the other 3. Like I'm very clear. I'm going to throw this person out, and if they ever come in again and you're with them, all of you are getting thrown out because and you're putting my job on the line because you want someone underage to come to a bar and drink. You can go to the liquor
Yes.
store and you can go home. That's not a problem for me. But
Yeah,
you're fucking with me. You're
yeah,
fucking with the
Mm.
business.
yeah,
Knowingly. That's disrespectful.
yeah.
You're not disrespecting.
I know. Unfortunately, in America, we have these laws.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I'm
I mean, because you can go just
Yeah.
south of the border, doesn't exist. You can go across the pond,
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
if the law was different, it's the same thing with weed. It's like I don't care if you smoke weed, but
Yeah.
it's illegal. And if I know about it, I have to do something. So don't let me know. If you're gonna do it, don't make it obvious that you're doing it. It's
That's
disrespectful.
so hilarious. Like
'Cause I know
that's
so many regulars come in and
hilarious.
get crossfaded.
It's
But
like
they don't reek of weed.
because something is illegal. That's when you're like, not gonna do it. Like I was thinking about that today, like the war on drugs. And by the way, we are winning that war. By the way, drugs are definitely winning that war.
I love that.
I
Drugs
know.
are winning.
Drugs are
Drugs.
fucking winning that war.
Drugs been
But it
winning
was
for a
because
long
of like
time.
one person. Like people have been doing drugs for thousands of years, psychedelics, smoking weed, cocaine. Like they had all these things that the cultures had been doing for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And then Nixon came along and his wife. And all of a sudden, public enemy number one was the war on drugs, And like drinking and driving and alcohol, it was like alcohol was legal for thousands of years in all cultures, even in monks and like religious factors. Like alcohol was legal and they didn't give a fuck what age you were. It wasn't until the 1920s, 30s when we had prohibition, and then it became illegal. It's only these laws and these ideals of men in the last, 100 years that we've kind of frowned upon these things?
Well, I mean,
Does not make things harder. So, okay, we'll have to talk about this later on.
Yeah,
I need to do some
there's
more
a whole
thinking
rabbit
about
hole
this,
when it comes to
but, like,
drugs and all that.
it really bothers me, like, that we have these laws and we have these limitations on things that as a society we were doing, as humans we were doing, and just because you don't like it, I can no longer do it. I think that's my main point.
Yeah.
You don't like it, so I can't do it. You don't agree with it, so that means I can't do it. That's
That-
not fucking fair
that's
at
a
all.
whole thing we can.
It is.
That's
It
a whole
is. I'm
thing.
sorry. I'm sorry. Yes.
But yeah,
And I get that could be a positive about the service industry is there's so many industries you go to, you're going to get drug tested. You period cannot do certain things. Service industry is a little more lax.
So
You can get a job in
That-
the service industry after being a convict. At least back a house you can.
that is
Yeah,
very
right.
true because I mean, like honestly, this is
It
like
gives people an
the-
opportunity.
Yeah, it's an opportunity. It's a home for all the outcasts and awkward people and the
Yeah.
passionate people. Because I mean, let's face it. Like if you're not in this because you love it, then you really need to find a way to get out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're an
you do
ex-convict,
not.
go learn a trade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You'll make
Yeah.
so much more money. You'll have
Yeah.
practical skills. If you
Exactly.
don't
Yeah.
if you don't want to cook.
exactly.
If you do, you can you can find a way up. But
Absolutely.
if that's
And,
something
and I'm
you
not
want to
saying
do.
you don't take the job if even if it is temporary. Just make sure you have an exit plan.
Yeah.
Because
It's so easy to get
I see
stuck.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
See it so many times. People do it
Yes.
for so many years, and then they're like, "How do I even go apply for another
Yeah.
job? My entire resume has been
Yeah.
nothing but one thing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can't get out.
I've been doing it for 12 years now. I don't
Yeah.
granted, I've networked and people that I've talked to would hire me because they've known me for
Yeah.
so long,
Yeah.
but it's because of that personal relationship, not because of my resume. They just
Pay
see like
cut?
my
No
work
pay
ethic.
cut.
And most likely it would be a pay cut.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I hear a lot. But, you know what I'm saying? Because I have a friend not too long ago. He was in the service industry, front of the house,
Hmm.
and he's been in the service industry, was in the service industry no longer. He's gotten out. He was in there for 15 years, and he finally got out. He had a friend also, kind of what you're saying, was like, hey, I got this computer programming job. It's an internship. It's very, very low pay. He was okay in his life to where he could get out of the service industry and do that. He has been struggling since January, February of this year. Came over the other day. By December, he got a 40% increase. So within 9 months of him, yes, struggling really, really hard, you know what I'm saying? Being a server, front of the house, worked in high-end steak restaurants where he was taking home $500-$600 a day to where he was taking home $1,000 every 2 weeks, maybe a little more than that. I don't want to put his business out there.
Yeah.
To where now that company has recognized his skills. He's learned it. He's grown, but it did take 10 months for them to even realize it.
Yeah,
And
you
they're
gotta
like,
fight your
okay,
way out.
now blah, 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 blah. And they're going to get given his money. And he was through the moon. He was so happy. But yeah, he found his way out, but it's hard. It's very hard.
Yeah,
It is.
I mean, there's people like me that like, I don't even imagine myself doing anything else, honestly. Like, I can't. I don't want to.
and that's love.
I love
what you do.
what I do. I absolutely love being a chef.
Because if it was all about
So,
money,
like, I
no one
love
would be in this
being
industry.
a chef, and
Well, that's not
now
entirely true,
I
though.
want to go
Especially back of
teach
house,
other chefs.
So many restaurants would be able to exist.
no, back of house is definitely not where you go for money.
No,
No.
you don't. No, we get paid
You-
peanuts. We're
Yeah.
the elephants at the circus.
Yeah,
We're not the ringleaders. We're not the clowns. We're not the ones making the big butts. We're not the acrobats. You know, we're not in
Mhm.
entertainment. We're just the elephants that are standing on balls and entertaining you like that.
and there are ways to make more money, but there's a lot of sacrifices. There's a lot of things like give and take. Yeah,
Yes.
there's and it's just kind of like when you enjoy it and you want to be actually a part of the industry and not just like a mindless cog in it. You don't really work at those kind of places. Like
Yeah.
you aim for the places that you are passionate about. Like, what do I
Yeah.
want to cook?
Yeah.
What is it that really I want to make?
Right.
And that place makes what I want to make.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
They don't pay that well. Well, they get the food I like.
Yeah.
That's where I'm gonna go. So that's what ends up happening a lot of times. It's like then you have like these
Exactly.
corporate places that they'll like, don't worry, we'll keep bumping you up, keep bumping you up, keep bumping you up, give you a promotion, give you a promotion. You can make all this money, but by the time you're at the top, you've sold your soul and you've turned into just the villain in the
Yeah.
waiting movie, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Do y'all want to take 5 minutes? Want to just pick up here in like 5 minutes? Give our guest off screen some attention.
Yeah, we can.
Oh,
Or he
yeah,
can just
yeah.
wait. He knows what
yeah,
he's
he
doing.
knows.
He knows the routine.
How long
Just
have we
watch.
been recording?
About 35 minutes.
I think we're, yeah. You
Take a smoke
good?
break.
I'm talking off camera right now, but are you good for another half hour? Or even
All right.
15 more minutes? I
He's
mean,
gonna
we,
sit at the bar. I wish you knew how to make me a drink, Jonty. How about that? How about we do take a 5-minute break?
I keep touching this thing and rubbing it like it's a nipple.
You are.
I don't know why. I've
You
just been
are
doing this
caressing it, like,
for like
way
a
too
while now.
much.
Like you can probably
Way
see
too
it in that
much.
camera, but I've just every once in a while I just stop and I've just been doing this. Like it's just not right. I just noticed that that's what I have been doing.
So yeah, we get paid peanuts, and I was told that from the time that I started in this industry. It's never been a secret though. That was the thing though. It's never been a secret about how much chefs get paid. You know, like we know that we're not gonna make a lot of money in this industry. And again, Zach's right. Like there's always those opportunities to move up and then get out of it. But once you start moving up, like you kind of move out of where you're making the food
Yeah.
and you're creating those experience for people to where you're just a clipboard chef or you're on a computer
Yeah. I
and
think
things like that, you know?
somebody I think put it best one day when they said, if you ever love cooking, never get into management.
Yep. That is a
You'll
fact.
never cook another day of your life.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
same thing for bartending. If that's what you want to do, most bar managers don't bartend. They're not supposed to. They're supposed to manage
Yeah.
the staff, the
Yeah.
bar staff, and the inventories and all these kinds of things. But you're never going to make that same money. You may have benefits and you may be a little more secure, but you are now management. You're doing paperwork. You're counting drawers. You're closing the building up. Like you're doing it
Yeah.
operationals.
You're no longer creating that drink or creating that food and that
Yeah.
item for that guest to enjoy. You're now just making sure that somebody else does their job.
Yeah, I guess
Mhm.
bar lead would maybe be the one where you would be working to make like a new menu and all this kind of stuff. But if you're at
Yeah.
a corporate place, the corporate's going to tell you what the new menu
Yep.
is. And
Yeah.
Yep.
you're not going to have a whole lot of independence there.
Yeah, because there are those instances to where, like, if you're a bar lead or you're still the chef there, but you have to jump into the trenches and help out, dig out your team and whatnot. That still gives you that. But again, you're not like on the line, like making those dishes. You know,
Yeah.
that's a big difference. Like that's a huge thing because I went into management for like 8 years. And towards the end of my career, I was like, no, I don't want to be management no more. Like, just give me a saute position. You know, I just want to go back to a saute cook. I want to go back to my roots. And I've talked about this before to where I just wanted to be a saute cook. I just literally, I love that. I love having saute pans in my hands,
Yeah.
tongs in my
The
hands. Like,
sizzle. I
yeah,
love the sound.
you know, the flambés, the sounds, like everything about that. That's where my soul like resides at, you know? So that's where my passion is at. My passion is there.
So it
It's
gets
the
you out of
creating it.
bed, out the
Yes.
door, and out to
Yes.
work. Out to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When I was in management, it was like, okay, I got to go into work, or I had to worry about who was going to call off, who was going to show up. Oh, this person's late. Oh, this is this. What do we have to do now? Oh, we have no dishwasher tonight. I got to take somebody off the line and put them in dishes, or I got to move things around always, you know? Like it was
Yeah.
just it's too much chaos to where when you're just a cook with and enjoy those years. I'm gonna tell you right now to those younger chefs that like are coming up and they want to be the chef and they want to be in management and whatnot. Enjoy these years as you are in them right now. Enjoy every day that you get to cook food and that somebody is going to enjoy your meal. Remember, it's always about that. For me, at least, maybe not you. I don't know why you're a cook or why you're a chef or why you got into this industry. But again, for me, it was just that. It was that feeling and that, again, it wasn't, what did I say earlier? That verbal, oh, this was amazing. It was what Zach was talking about, just watching the guest, you know? Sometimes it is about that, just seeing them be like, wow, this is amazing. Like, oh,
Mm.
that just makes my heart full and that makes me happy.
Mm.
And the people are the right people are just absolutely amazing, and they keep me going too. Because like that's why I always loved working at bars. Like I've worked fine dining, I mean everything from fast food, fine dining, all that stuff. But I love working at bars.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, I do
Those
kind
are
of
your
love working
people.
at bars.
Yeah.
I don't get to create those experiences anymore, but what I do get out of it is being able to know everybody that I'm cooking for all the
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
I know preferences. I can see a ticket. I know exactly how they want that. I already know their order. I already know what they want, what they like, what their allergies are, and so it's like even when like if a ticket comes back there, like you've seen it, it was like if a ticket comes back and it looks a little off, I'm like, okay, I know this person. That doesn't look right. Did they mean to order this? Oh, okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'll even be able to catch mistakes just because I know
Ah.
who that person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh no,
Yeah.
you're right. It's supposed to be no bacon on that. My bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're
So it's
right.
like, trust me. And so it's that for you, all you guys out there that go out to restaurants, something like that. Like, yeah, if you become one of those regulars, like even back of house, we're looking out for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
love you.
all got
We
your back,
love
baby.
You.
Yeah.
We love you. We love the regulars.
I mean,
Even
how-
if I'm not making gourmet food
Yes.
anymore and having that, oh my God, you have to try this experience with somebody, I'm still able to provide them with that. I'm being taken care of. A nice,
Mhm.
warm, fuzzy feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, that's
Yeah.
a great way to shout out. Shout out to Miller Lite, Jack Shot, chicken sandwich, no garden, just cheese,
Yeah.
fries on the side.
Ah. You know
Yeah.
who you are.
Also,
Yes.
Miller Lite, chicken sandwich, ranch, extra ranch on the side, no tomato, no bacon, grilled chicken, extra crispy fries.
Oh, I do love extra crispy
Oh, yeah.
fries too.
And
I'm
the
an extra
occasional
crispy
tri-tip when you leave.
Holy gosh, right? Yeah.
I know your
Little-
order, baby.
little
I know
to-go
what you're going to do
bag.
before you do it.
That's cool too. Again, like you said, you know what I'm saying? Like you're like, I know your order before you're gonna do it. So you see that initial ticket coming in, and then towards the end of the night, you're like, I'm gonna go ahead and get this ready before the ticket comes in. Have you
Yep.
ever done that? Have you ever made something? And then as soon as the ticket comes in, it's already ready. You just pull the ticket off the machine and hand them the food. You're like, this is done already. Here you go. Bye.
I don't get to do that much anymore because like, I never know when they're going to order because it is a bar.
It's
Yeah.
It's,
well,
it's hard to
again,
tell
you
when
don't
they're
know when
gonna
they're
do
going to order, but like if it comes to the end of the night, like say the
When it
kitchen
comes to the end
closes
of the
at
night,
11
what I
o'clock,
do,
and it's like 10:45, you're like, I might as well go ahead and make that because that ticket's coming in within the next 5 to 10 minutes.
if I know that's what they're going to do, but most of the
Yeah.
time what I'll do is just to make sure they don't run out, I'll just set something to the side. Just make sure that they get their food.
Respect to that.
Mm.
Respect to that. Yeah. Yeah.
Just be like, in case we actually run out of something or something like that, I'm like,
Go
here,
ahead
let
and
me just
sell
go
that.
ahead and boom right there. Because
Yep.
if he does decide he's going to order that tonight, I want to make sure that
I'm
he's
ready
there.
to
He's got
go.
it.
Yeah. As a rule, I don't hang out with a lot of regulars outside of work, but it does happen occasionally. And I had an experience, it's probably like 3 or 4 years ago. We're hanging out with a regular. It's him, his wife. I think it was just us three. We went out. They came in. He's like, his wife was asking him, babe, what do you want to eat? Like, what do you want to eat, what to drink? And he's like, I don't know. And like looks at me like,
Yeah.
you know what I want? I'm like, yeah, I know what you want. He's like, cool. And he left the bathroom and I ordered for him his drinks and his food. And he like kind of like half ignored his wife the whole night. He's just looking at me like, you know me so well. God, like it's, I feel like,
Bro code.
Yep.
yeah, he like turns over. It's like, babe, you gotta step up your game.
Yeah, right.
This man knows what I eat, what
Yeah.
I drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
It,
just-
it,
Those little details.
be
meant to
like
be.
that
Yeah,
sometimes.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that.
You intimately get to know people, especially
Yeah.
like, as time goes on. You're like,
Yes.
yeah, I got to know the
Yes.
last 3 relationships you were in.
Yep.
You've moved house
Yep.
twice. You
Yeah.
own 2 dogs. Now you own 3. I see you eyeing. Like I see that sideways glance you give. Like I just watch out. That one's a little crazy.
Yeah.
So you talking about? I was like, just don't even play that. I saw. It's just
Yeah.
that like side glance you gave and that little smirk. It's like, nope,
Yeah.
I see you.
No, you save that one for Zach because
This
I
is
have
like the
things for
4th
crazy people.
time. Yeah, it's like the 4th crazy you're going after.
It's the fourth.
I've watched this. It's like
It's the fourth, not the first, the second, third. It's the fourth time. I gotta step in now.
I'm living in a fucking K-hole watching you make the same mistake over and over again.
I'm living in a K-hole. That's great.
It's like I'm there just watching it. And I can't do shit about it.
Oh my god! I feel like I'm some kind of sleep paralysis
Yeah,
right
right.
now.
Yep.
Feel like I'm a sleeper cell right now. I'm just waiting for the code word to kick me in.
You're getting your fourth shot in 2 hours. You're about to do something stupid.
Oh man.
I know you.
Yeah. I've
I
been
wish
there.
I didn't know you so well, but I do.
I know, but again, as that guest, I've always appreciated good bartenders like
Oh,
you.
yeah.
You know, like I've had them in my lives, and I love them. You know, like I've come up to a couple bartenders before, and they're like, "Nah, Sean, I don't think you need this one." I'm like, you
Yeah.
know what? You're right. Let me get a water.
Especially
And they're
like,
like, yes.
and there's like, and you can kind of even tell like by the way people order and by the way people interact, like because you know you get to know them so well that
Yeah.
when like any like little change you start to notice. It's like, wait a minute, I know your order. Why'd you order this? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on? Like, you going on a diet, buddy?
You're right.
I
Yeah,
see.
what's
You,
happening?
you good? Like you feeling a little self conscious?
Yeah.
Like you feeling all this kind of stuff, and all of a sudden, like now it's like you're actually thinking, like even just seeing a ticket, and I'm concerned about a person.
Ah,
I can actually, like, I feel for people
yeah.
through the ticket machine.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Someone comes in, gets like 8 heavy IPAs in a night, and all of a sudden they're drinking like 4 light beers, and then they're done. It's like, what is happening?
It's
What's
like,
going
no,
on?
I mean,
You
like,
alright?
it's not that like I'm not
Yeah.
happy for you getting healthier or eating healthier or drinking healthier. It's just this is
Just
off.
why? Just
So
why? Hey,
I just want to make sure everything's cool.
Yeah. Not
Yeah, like,
concerned. Just happy for you, or just
Just
why?
abnormal behavior.
Just hey, okay, cool.
Something traumatic happened,
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's
or someone starts drinking even heavier. It's like, all right, what's happening? What's going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
You never drink this much, and you're handling it too well.
Yeah.
What are you drinking at home?
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Mm.
That is
Let's
a big
talk.
thing too. Yeah.
I'm concerned,
Yeah.
making me feel things.
I've been that
Son
guy.
of a-
I've been that guy.
Okay, and the other thing about like I know we talk about bars a lot because we work at bars right now, but
Yeah. I mean, I love bars.
yeah, but the the freedom that you get there because there's no HR department. Remember,
Yes.
being able to have people hang out after hours and like you're still like like they're picking up chairs, they're doing this kind of stuff. Like they're almost like part of the staff. They're like
Yeah.
part of the fucking family.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we're just all shooting the shit.
Family. And
I mean, like those
friends.
kinds of experiences, like you don't really get at restaurants. Really, like you don't like it's always turn and burn. And like they usually are there for a reason to get out of there. They're not going to a restaurant to
Yeah.
hang out.
Yeah,
So at a bar though, it's like now all of a sudden you get to everybody to just sit down at the bar. Everybody like they're bartenders. You guys are either closing up or you've probably lit up a cigarette or you guys have been sitting down with us
Mm.
and just hanging out and being people,
Yeah.
continuing to being able to experience each other and being able and like you were talking earlier, appreciate each other.
Yes.
It's only ever
Yes.
service industry, in my experience, that gets to hang out, if you get to hang out at all, after hours.
Yeah.
After the
With
doors
the
are locked.
customers. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's usually because they're, hey, what
I
can I
can't
do?
think of any other industry
wi-
that
they start
really
wiping
like
down
hangs
tables.
out with their customers. Like think
Yeah.
about that. Like,
I only
we
hang out
are
with
the
customers
only industry that
that are in
does.
industry.
Yeah.
If you're not in the industry, we're not hanging out.
Really?
You're not hanging out in my bar. If you're not gonna pick up a rag and wipe down tables, if you're not gonna start sweeping and mopping and taking out trash, if you're not
Huh.
helping close, you don't need to be in the bar.
Huh.
If you don't help close, you don't get to hang out after close.
Huh.
Period.
Okay.
No,
I'm a
nah,
little-
you don't get to sit on your ass and drink all day while I've been working my ass off. And now you want to talk while I'm trying to do numbers and wipe down the bar and sweep and mop.
I'm a little bit different. 'Cause
Nah, nah,
I
nah,
have
nah.
had guests in my past to where like they've come into the restaurant, they come up to the bar, and they hang out at the bar all night long, and like the kitchen and the bar are like right there,
Mm.
and then we close down, and they're at the bar. Now the thing that I do hate is like when they are like I can't get away from them. They're trying to talk
Oh,
to me,
yeah.
and I can't get away from them. Like, hey, let me close down real quick. We can still hang out, but like I've had plenty of them. I've had like tile and cabinet people that I've hung out with. I've hung out with electricians, like all kinds of like landscapers, irrigation people. Like they just became my friends because like they would be at the bar, and then when we're closed, I would come out to the bar, get my shift drink, see them like, oh hey, you're still here. What's up? Saying start talking to them for a minute. Hey, let me go finish up closing real quick.
But you're talking about hanging
Hang
out,
out.
while the business is still open.
No. When we're closed.
Yeah.
When we're
Oh.
closed. Because they would get there, towards the end of the night,
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
Or they would get there whatever time they got there, 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? We didn't close till 10 or 11 o'clock.
Okay,
And then
gotcha.
they're still there at 11 o'clock. And I've been in the kitchen since 7, 8 o'clock. And then all of a sudden I come out to get my shift drink. They're still at the bar. And I'm like, oh shit. I ask him, hey, how was your meal? Oh, it was wonderful. I love the food. That's just why the reason I come here. The
Yeah.
food's always excellent. Oh, I appreciate that. We start rapping. Hey, let me go back to the back. Let me finish up closing down. You know what I'm saying? And I'll even tell the bartender sometimes as the chef, I'll be like, hey, go ahead and get him another drink on my tab. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay for it. We'll clock it in tomorrow and whatnot. And keep him around for a few minutes because I do want to build that relationship with that guest and get him to come back and and I do every time. Like every time they've come back, they love it because they know they can come there. It's therapy.
Yeah.
It's therapy.
I'd say that's different then. If you're back a house and you want someone to stay and you're vouching for them, that's different. As a
Yeah.
bartender, you're not hanging out unless you're helping me close because you're hanging out at the time when now I need to do my close.
Yeah.
And if we talk for an hour, cool. I still have to do all the closing work. I don't get to go
Yeah.
home until all that's done. I'd rather like, hey, help me get this done. And then it shows sympathy because like if you really do want to hang out, cool.
Isn't that
Help me, we'll get it done in half the time. Then we can hang
morally-
out and talk. But
Well-
it'd be like you coming out front. You still have an hour of cleaning to do in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You talk, and then they're like, cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and
People.
now it's been an hour past close. They go to leave. Now, cool. Now you have to go back in the kitchen and clean.
I've been there also.
Like, no,
See-
I want to
I've
get
done
it done.
Yeah. I
Then
know.
we hang out.
Yeah.
Because especially when you start drinking, God, the
Oh,
amount of
man.
times I come in the next morning, not here, but
Yeah,
you know,
the ambition.
every now and again you come the next day, they were drinking the night before, they didn't finish closing before they
Yeah.
started drinking,
Yeah.
and you're like, you guys miss so much shit. And I've done it too. You start drinking, you're like, you didn't wipe down half the tables.
Guilty.
You didn't mop any of this. Some dude, I think, pissed in the corner. How did you miss that? It's like, I need sober eyes to clean up the bar. Then do your thing.
Yeah.
I feel
You didn't
like
stock
there was a
half the bar.
story
Now I
there.
got to come in and do
Definitely.
juices and refill bottles and stock all this stuff. It's like, I'm hungover and I just woke up 30 minutes ago and you want me to do all the opening stuff you should have done last night?
Yep.
Come on.
It's called teamwork, bitch.
Come on. Now, I mean, stuff does happen.
Yeah.
Like,
But-
I get it, but it just can't be a recurring thing.
No,
I think,
no.
and that's what we do where we work. But I've been to so many places that honestly tell me not to even do that. Like, they tell me don't close. Like, we can't have you doing this. And I'm like, why not? Like, I want to. Like, I'm gonna go pick up these chairs for you. I'm gonna go start mopping for
Oh
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then they'll tell
As
you,
a
like,
guest,
no,
you
no, no,
can't
no,
do
no,
it.
no,
Yeah,
no, no. You can't do all this.
Yep.
You can't do all
Yep.
this. You can't do all
Yep.
this. Just sit down. You're
Yep.
fine. You're fine. You're fine. But and I don't try to hold them that back though. It's like the moment they have to like to leave,
Uh-huh.
like, you know, and like I feel awkward because I'm sitting there by myself all of a sudden, or like if there's not anybody else there, I'm like, I'm just gonna finish my drink outside. Can I get a to-go
Yep.
cup?
Yep.
And then boom. Then
Yep.
I'm sitting outside. They know I'm not gonna leave. You're not supposed to have beer in a to-go cup, but just go outside, finish my beer, go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That
it's
has
like
happened
I'm
to
not
me.
gonna get in your way to going
Yep.
home. But thank you for allowing me to stay after hours, hang out with you guys. Or sometimes, honestly, it's like if they're close to getting stuff done, I'll just go sit outside. And then I've been at places where they'll bring another drink out to me, and then
Oh, yeah.
after they're done, and we all just sit down because they're finished closing, and then they have their shift drinks. I've got a refreshed beer, and we're just chilling.
Yep.
I'd
Well,
say
my
that's
wife is
more
still-
common.
Yeah, like I'm not in their way,
Yeah.
and nothing like that's going down. I still get to hang out after hours. I still get to sit at the bar and hang out and talk to them and drink another
Yep.
drink or something like that with them while they're closing. But you got to be respectful about it, you know. Like
Yes.
understand, it's like they're not there to
Yes.
keep talking to you.
No.
They're officially trying to get the fuck off the clock.
And never assume that you have the right or
They're
privilege.
officially get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Never just assume like, oh yeah, he was cool the last time. I can stay in here this time. Don't never assume that.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Like they just might
Yeah.
not be having a good night
Yeah.
or whatever it is. So like, if you're not, if the vibe is that way, then go outside. Cool. Maybe they do want to hang out after they're done,
Yeah.
but they're like, I'm gonna clean up and get this
Yeah.
done.
Let that employee finish his fucking job, and when
Yeah.
he's finished, then you can kind of feel that out and see how that's going. But
Yeah.
yeah, when I used to go when my wife was still in the food service industry and she was still a server, like I would get off and then I would go over to her bar and she would have, another hour before closing, I'd get a couple of drinks and hang out. But then as soon as it was closing time, I would excuse myself, let them close,
mm-hmm.
and I would offer to help out, but they were always like, you can't really help out. You're not allowed to help out. Insurance reasons, this
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
that.
Yeah, technically,
So
you
I'd be
can't
like,
be in the
okay,
bar after close.
let me get out of the way. Because I was like, let me sweep, let me do something. Like you were saying, like, let me do something. And sometimes they're like, nope, nope, nope. We got this. Just get the fuck out of the way. Heard, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go smoke some cigarettes. I'm going to finish my beer outside.
I definitely have those nights. It's like, all right,
Mhm.
just go, get out of my way.
Yep.
I'm gonna pound through this because I know every spot.
Yeah.
Especially when someone offers to do it, they do it, and you like go do like a double check through, and it's like, man, I gotta come behind you and sweep again.
Of course,
Yeah.
they're not
What
employees. They
was the
don't work
fucking-
there. They don't know.
No, yeah.
I think one of my favorite ones though is like always like when they, like they're the bars, they don't give a fuck kind of, So they're just always like, all right, if you're not sleeping with the staff, get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out.
But then I love being able to like go up to a regular and being like, not you, you're good. Sit down.
Yeah.
Like,
Everyone.
Yeah.
Actually, you go hide in the back real quick.
It's like
Yeah.
you're good. You can hide in the bathroom,
Uh-huh.
and then just come out when everyone's gone. You're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I've had a few bars like that where they just always let me hang out.
Yeah.
And it'd be funny because like the non-regulars would be like, what about this guy? And they're like, don't worry
Exactly.
about this guy.
It's like, yeah.
This is Sean Paul. Like, don't worry about him. Just get the fuck out.
I loved it. I loved being able to say it. I loved it when it was said to me. It's just a good feeling to be like, I'm welcome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get to
Yeah.
make somebody else feel like they are welcome still.
Yeah.
It's just like, again, it goes back to creating those experiences. It's like,
Yes.
even though it's a minor thing and it makes them feel bigger and more important to them, in the world.
I mean, a big part of front of house, like on the opposite side of that, is during our shifts, we get to go to a job where we have people that enjoy cooking, make us a meal.
Yeah.
And we get to have that. We don't have to like wake up and throw something in the microwave or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
it is. Like we get to have an actual meal.
You know you're going into family meal. I love restaurants.
I
like
mean,
that
we don't have family
meals.
meal where we are
I
now.
know. Why not though? You guys just not allowed to have family meal. Are you guys allowed to order whatever you want? Do you guys pay for your meals?
We've
or-
made, so as far as like ordering when, we've made more concrete procedures as to when, with
Yeah.
permission,
yes,
you can order.
But do you pay?
We get like one manager meal and then one like 50% off meal.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but family meal implies like everyone can kind of like move to the side, or a group of people can move to the side and eat something.
Yeah, of
We
course.
don't really have that.
Yeah.
There's only like 2 or 3 front of house people, so one person will go off and leave. The other 2 have to stay at the bar.
Yeah. And they
Back of
keep,
house, there's only like 1 or
Yeah.
2 of you at most. So
yeah. And we keep such a close eye on the inventory and stuff like that, that it's just kind of like, I don't really have a whole lot of extra just to throw out there.
Yeah, but
Um,
again, you just said you had 5 people, 3 bartenders, 1 or 2 cooks. You're only cooking for 5 people.
Yeah.
So
and
instead
sometimes
of-
that's literally all I'm going to sell for a week.
Wow.
So
All
like,
right.
that's what I'm saying. It's a
All
very low volume place. That's why like our regulars, I can get to know my regulars that well, is because
Ah.
literally they order all the time and I see their name all the time, and I don't really get to see a lot of randoms because it's very
Oh.
low volume,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
it's nice, but it's also it creates its own problems, its own stresses. And like
Yeah.
this isn't my dream job, don't get me wrong. Like the reason why I do this job, the reason why I love and I stayed in this job was not for this particular job.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's the worst place in the world to work. I'm just saying this was not my goal when I, finally just said, hey, you know what? I really do actually enjoy this, and I really want to keep doing this.
Yeah, what you said earlier.
Yeah. So, but because my goals have kind of shifted as I've been getting older.
Okay.
And I'm not saying like I'm an old man or anything like that.
He is kidding.
But I'm just saying, like, now that those have shifted, I took this job to kind of make this whole experience a little bit easier.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
I
coming
do
with
know
its own
that.
stressors and everything like
I
that.
do
But
know
like the small things still are there. Like that's why I'm talking about people so much right now. Is because like now
Okay.
where I'm working now, it's a lot more about actual interaction,
Huh.
becoming more intimately involved. Not intimately. I wouldn't say intimately because
I would say doing stuff like this is a progression
yeah.
of that intimate dynamic. Like you want to reach out to people, but as a bartender, as a cook, you can only reach and affect so many people. That we want to try and reach and affect more people.
Yeah.
Share those experiences. Show people that it's not all doom and gloom, and there are the things you can do. And if you
Yeah.
have passions, you can follow those passions, and you can do
Yeah.
more, or take the thing you enjoy doing now, if it's cooking, and expand on that. Like you don't have to be pigeonholed and it is hard. I mean, we all get it. Like finances alone are rough,
Yeah.
but it's the people around you. It's building those relationships and leaning on each other and helping each other. Like that's what makes this industry so great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, communicate and
Have you guys ever heard of the book or heard of the phrase "creating raving fans"?
yeah,
Okay.
read that book.
Awesome.
I don't think I've ever read
You
it.
haven't, but you have. Okay.
Read Creating Raving
Yeah.
Fans and 1,000 True Fans.
Yes. Yes.
Similar concept.
Yeah.
but
Very similar concept. Yes. Yes. Fully believe in that. And like I read that book and I was like, wow. Okay. That it explained me so much, because it's not so much about
I'm just really glad somebody can explain you. I've been trying to do that for a long time.
Well, I mean, it explained me internally, not externally. So good luck on that. Like
Externally is just a
I'm
Greek
like
god.
origami, bro. It just depends on how you
What?
fold.
Yo.
Whoa, okay.
Mr. Miyagi over here.
Yeah, I am Mr. Miyagi.
Didn't realize you kept up with the yoga. He's
Yoga?
so flexible.
Always wax on, wax off, baby.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's all about like creating those raving fans as a chef. That's what you want. You want
Yeah.
those people just to talk about you and love you, and that's it. I think we're all just depressed people that just want to be.
We gotta wrap it
camera
up.
just died.
Gotta
Yep.
wrap it up.
Time to finish this up.
All
But
right,
anyways,
I'm
it has
clocking
been-
out, chef.
I think we've said everything we really needed to say about why we love this,
Yeah.
about the people.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of our regulars and all of our beautiful, lovely people.
You know who you are, and you know who I am.
Yeah.
You've impacted
We may
us
bitch and we bitch
through our
about
journey.
customers, we bitch about the
Yes.
work, but we really do enjoy what we do.
We do.
That's why it's
We
like why we
do.
do it.
Yeah, we love this. I know I love this.
Yeah.
All right. Clocking out, biatches.
Clocking out.
End of shift.
I'm off the clock.
Yeah.
I need another
Later,
shift
y'all.
drink now.
I'm going to go take some medicine.
Shot? I'll take a shot with you.
I said medicine, not shower.
Oh. Thought we were taking shots. I was like, are you taking a shot? I'll take a shot.